As you head towards the Barbican here in Plymouth, you sense a definite zone of attrition between the old and the new. Thankfully, the modern buildings soon disappear as architectural flashbacks start to come at you from all angles. The early morning is a great time to explore the Barbican, especially if, like us, you want to appreciate the history that its architecture holds. We are extremely lucky that this part of the city, the old harbour of Plymouth, miraculously escaped the Luftwaffe bombs of the Second World War. Without the noise of traffic and crowds of people, you can really take in the typical smell of seawater, caught fish, and fresh air. At this time of day, you can only hear the ever-present and disrespectful seagulls. When you enter the Barbican from Southside Street, you are immediately faced with the famous Plymouth Gin distillery building. They've been making gin here in this former 15th century Dominican monastery for over 200 years. Thanks largely to the Royal Navy, Plymouth Gin became famous all over the world, with over 1,000 barrels going to New York alone a week. Let's continue down the main street. The first impression is that nobody dies of thirst here or starves to death. What do you fancy then? There are pubs, inns, bars, cafes, tea shops, restaurants, takeaways, fish and chip shops, ice cream shops. And just as you'd expect, you can eat food from all over the world here. But of course, there's always the local fresh fish. Or why don't you try the local ice cream with clotted cream? You can't get that in Italy. More ice cream? But what's rock? And what about fudge? Some of the shops are incredibly old, like Jacka's. It's the oldest commercial bakery in Britain. That means people like Sir Francis Drake or the Pilgrim Fathers actually shopped there. Okay, let's forget the food now. It's time to burn some calories. So we're heading up a side street called New Street to see what we can find. The first thing you realize is that New Street is not new at all. This is a rare example of an Elizabethan house. And just look what's on the opposite side of the road. A genuine Tudor house. And just look at this Tudor Rose tea rooms and gardens. You don't get much more English than this. just next door, we have the Elizabethan Gardens. It's a perfect place for a bit of peace and quiet. You can just imagine the rich local merchants looking down from their houses onto this elegant refuge, while their female companions gossip and chat in private. All the famous adventurers of Plymouth have walked in this street. And here is where John Spark lived. He was the first Englishman to write about the potato and tobacco. Surrounded by so much history, it's nice to bump into a piece of English humour as we re-enter Southside Street. It reads, "On this spot in 1765, nothing happened." Well, that's enough for now. It's time for a break before we face 4 centuries of history in just 2 meters squared. What am I talking about? I don't really know, but somebody told me the Mayflower steps are just over there.